I'm a huge fan of Middle Eastern trance, especially Israeli trance, and so I try to write music like that, and it's all electronic. But however, I have incorporated the oboe in the first two tracks. So if you're interested in this kind of music, or would like to hear what oboe sounds with electronica, I'll also put the information on for this at the bottom of the page. Yeah, just one of the first tips I'm going to give you a bunch, but this one is about manipulating openings, and there's really a simple way to make the opening, change the opening, and that's by manipulating the tube. And the way you can do this is with a pair of needle nose pliers. Granted, if you have a $6, $7 silver tube like this, you're probably going to ruin it, but I'll do it for you, show you how this works. Now this reed, it's okay, but it's really open, and I'm not a big fan of big openings like that. You're going to drive a truck through that thing. And instead of like trying to squeeze it or step on it or what you can do is you take your needle nose pliers, let me make sure this is at the right spot. To close the reed, you squeeze about 5 millimeters down maybe. You squeeze the tube and it should close the opening a bit. See that? The opposite is true. If you have an opening that you think is too small, well, that opening's not bad, but for demonstrations purposes, we can make it bigger. The way you do that is you take your needle nose pliers and go, well, let's see, about 5 millimeters from the back, and you squeeze on that oval. And it opens up a little bit. See that? Opened up just a bit. You want the reed to be tight and closed all the way to the top. If it separates up here in the tip, first of all, you won't be able to play soft, nearly impossible. And the upper register from like G on up to C, D, and so on will be really tippy and raspy. So you do want to avoid that. So here's another tip that I'll give you, and this involves using the plaque. Significant results, and you're not going to believe it. It's very, very simple. What he used to do, especially with new reeds, you know how they can be unfocused and kind of all over the place. He would put the plaque in between the blades, all right, like so, fairly normal, and then down at the bottom, where the cane meets the thread, he would just move back and forth, just slightly, and you finish by moving opposite of the side slit. Take the plaque out, and you'll notice that the reed is much more focused. But I just wanted to show you something that I do with reeds that are a little tippy and maybe a little resistant also, and this might get you some good results. Having trouble with the reed responding, I will start at the middle of the heart and scrape right off to the corner, but stop. Don't go off the corner. Stop before you get to the corner. Stop. Don't go off the corner. And the same thing here. This reed is fairly well used up, but right. And that reed makes the reed a little more meaty. A little more tone and not as tippy. Keep using this shredded reed because it's kind of representative of our tattered lives that we're holding together by threads. If you have a leaking reed, especially down in this area, see if you don't quite make the thread go all the way, or you're just, you're having trouble with leaky reed. There's a couple things you can do. So what I'll try to do is just at an angle to go along with the side slip, I'll try to just shave along the edges with a nail file or emery board. Sometimes that can stop the leaking. Okay, but if that doesn't work, I'll use this stuff, and this is plumber's tape. And what you do is take a razor blade. Razor blades work best for this sort of thing. And then you can wrap it. It's also called Teflon tape. Gets a little funny to use, but it works brilliantly. It's sort of like fish skin, but without the fish skin. And you can wrap it around, and that works wonderfully. I mean, it seals it up really good if you have leaky reeds. If you have a reed, plays well, but it's kind of stuck. Right in the back of the heart, where it meets, you just scrape lightly. And on the other side also. Right at the spine, where the spine meets the back of the heart. Here's another tip for the opposite. If you have a reed that's really tippy, but it's close, what you can do is, instead of clipping both blades, clip the blade that faces you and use the knife and the plaque. Yeah, right there. And clip. Okay. And remove the portion. Now the front blade is shorter than the back. Here's a tip. If you get water in your octave key, if you are struggling, here's something that you can do. You get some cigarette paper, tear a strip like so, put it under the octave vent, twist, leave it there, and it will help you. It will keep the water out.